Good evening, everyone. Um, I'm a little bit sleepy at the moment. I just woke up a little while ago, so um, yeah, might take me a little while to warm up. I just had um, simple description in the chat today. Um, I just thought maybe we could have a conversation about what we're doing for healing and what's working for us and what's not working. And in the last, I usually start these chats with I usually start these video streams with I talk about my week, and looking back over the week, it's been interesting. I managed to actually leave the house a few times. I went for a few drives up the mountain, which was good. It was nice to actually do. So I'm going to try and keep doing that. I'm going to try and make that a regular thing. Things have been getting more and more difficult in my daily life, so I'm having to adapt with that. So a lot of the things that I was doing I was doing a lot of things for my sort of healing practice, and quite a lot of that have sort of slowed down, and it's understandable why that happened. Like a lot of things dropped off. Like I'm still behind on the book club. I still haven't finished reading the book, so I'm now a week behind, but it'll happen, and I'll finish it, and then I'll do a video about the book. So sorry to anyone who read it and has been waiting for that video. It's still going to happen. Yeah, it's been a good week overall. There's been a few positive things. I started building a website for my mindfulness practice, and that it's going to take a bit of time. It's just going to be a very simple website, not much to it. I went with Google Market Workspace, and then through that I'll use the video conferencing that they have for doing the mindfulness training online, and then it comes with all these other applications. So that's how I can build my website and integrate calendar and have people book sessions and all that sort of stuff. So I've done a bit of learning with that, and trying to plan stuff for the next year. Even though there's so much going on, it sort of sounds a bit silly to try and plan things for next year, but it's maybe good that I'm doing this, because it's good distraction for me. Anything at the moment that's a positive distraction is something that's good. That's why I do these streams, not just for the benefit of the social interaction that I get and which is amazing. You know, like the conversations and meeting new people, and because I'm so isolated, it's really a lifeline for me to actually have this. You know, I I appreciate it so much. People um, remind me all the time how much they appreciate it, and you know, I appreciate it so much. You know, just as much, if not more. I don't know, probably the same. You know, it's probably just mutually beneficial for us all. You know, that we have this space. I had a bit of fun. Um, the other day, well, um, like last night with the um, I because I got the microphone for my camera, and oh, sorry, microphone for my phone, um, and it's finally working. So um, I set my camera up in the garden with the frogs on the pond, and with the torch on the pond through the night, and I was sitting inside watching the stream and chatting to everyone, and we were there listening to the frogs. It was really fun. And then I did the same thing with the sunrise. So I set the camera up and streamed the sunrise from the uh, balcony of the veranda at home, and that's got me interested in hopefully going to watch the sunrise in different locations, and setting the camera up and doing streams from there, you know, from different places. So these will be good positive things for me to do. It's a matter of just being able to. Um, I, I I know I need to focus on my fitness and exercising. So I did a little bit of exercise today, but not much. So I've got to integrate that into a daily thing. I need to get fit. I need to lose all this weight that I put on in the last year. So there's all these things that I've been trying to do for a long time, and I just haven't got around to really establishing a habit. But there's been positives, you know. Working on this website has been good. Um, it's funny, I'm looking at the screen and it looks like my shirt's all shiny. It's like just a denim shirt, but the light's making it look shiny. Um, what else? Had some really nice interaction with um, people, members of the channel, you know, of the community. Um, it's been nice, and I just appreciate it so much. I'm so isolated. I'm going through so much hurt, and I know I need to get past all this stuff, but it's not easy. Um, Cage Pastor's here. You going, Cage? You should be sleeping now. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. But I'm glad you're here. Very, very glad you're here. Cage says, hello all. Happy to be here. I'm so glad you're here, you know. So I'm talking about my week and what I've done, and I didn't write any notes for this. I just thought I'd think about the week and think about what happened, and so I've dropped off on a lot of reading. You know, I was reading every day, and I haven't been able to because of difficulties with things, and then I'm not getting upset about that. I know that I'll get back to that. What I have been doing is a lot of writing of things. You know, this I've written all this, like maybe 20 pages, I think, of something around that, of the concepts for this um, not-for-profit organization that I dreamed about, and I couldn't find the files anywhere. I don't know what happened to them. I've searched my whole computer, and I just don't know where they are, or what happened to them. So I had to start again, which is easy to do, because I'd spent so much time thinking about what to do, you know, for this whole. It's really quite a simple thing, but I'd planned it out. I'd already done like a master plan over like a 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20 years, you know, and then I spent a lot of time on it, and I am upset I can't find it, but I'm just starting again. MJG is here. Awesome to see you, MJG. MJG says, hi, Luke, hi, Caged, hi, Australiana. And she's got the heart there. Awesome to see you here. Yeah, now it'll be, Cage says, now it'll be a 100-year plan. Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, just extend it right out. And that's the beauty of it, is that the idea of this organization or not-for-profit charity is that I want it to just keep just growing and becoming established, and then it can then replicate and become everywhere, you know, because I think it's a sort of thing that needs to be in every country of the world. And like I've said, even in countries where it's not possible to have it because they're destabilized, you could have special places in nearby countries that especially for people from that country that's it's not possible. Miami's here as well. How you going? Good to see you here. It says, hello, Luke. Long time no see. How are you? Oh, it's Emin Bells. Awesome. I haven't seen you for ages, Emin Bells. I've been thinking about you. I was wondering when I was going to see you next. How awesome to see you here. That is so good. Emin Bells, you're a legend. And yeah, one of the first Sundays in months I'm able to see you live. It's so good to see you. Harmony Seeker's here as well. Awesome. Harmony Seeker says, I'm feeling stressed and lonely, having a bad day. I feel depressed. Well, I'm really sorry that you are feeling that and going through that. And like, I hope that being here now is helping, because I know that, you know, it helps me a lot having this community. And you know, even if it's not easy to just snap out of being depressed and you know, but hopefully some time here with us will help. I'm really sorry to hear that you're having a bad day. So I'll try and keep the content that I talk about be stuff that is not going to add to any sadness or depression. So Cage Pastor says, yeah, welcome back, Hermione, sorry. Hermione says, and of course, hello to everyone else here. Yeah, that's it. MJG says, hi. Hi, Bells. Case Pastor says, Case says, what's up, Harmony? That's it. Like, it's just, you know, I tell you, I often have tough days, and then when I start the stream, I cheer up, and I'm the one here chatting, so it might be easier for me because, like, as soon as I start talking, things change. Like, I get distracted, and so distraction's a really good thing for when you're upset, and you know, when you're triggered and in a not in a good place, you know, distraction is. So I'm really glad that you decided to come here, even though things aren't going too well, and hopefully things will ease and get better. You know, Australiana's here as well. Awesome. There is this in other places, not here as much. Look at what works. What gets the best not for profit funding and use. That's as an example. It's hard to be told no when things are working. That's a really good comment. I am going to look at case studies of other not-for-profits, and that organization I was talking about last time that's specifically set up to help charities and not-for-profits, helping them work through things and helping them build and grow. I haven't contacted them. I was going to contact them last week, and they're probably shut now over Christmas. So I will call them anyway tomorrow and leave a message and email them. So I'll line it up for early next year for a meeting with them. And they're called Right Source. They've got like lots of videos on YouTube. They're really good, and they work with not-for-profits all over Australia, and they help people. They help them go through changes too, because my idea was I was going to start off with do my nature therapy, mindfulness stuff as a business, and then sort of merge that across into a not-for-profit over time. And then I changed sort of what I was thinking of to keep working on this concept and then get the right people to be on the board of directors. And if I could get the right people on board and have the charter like rock solid, and people will believe in it, and then that will help make it happen. So I hear what you're saying. Like, if I follow the right, if I get it set up right, and there's the right people involved, then and it's following principles that are shown to work, then it's got to give it a good foundation. Australiana says, I'm in a headed under the blanket type of mood, but I'm heating up pizza instead, about to put tunes on. Well, at least you're the one turning the stove on, and it's not the cat. I still can't believe that. Like, Australiana's cat almost burnt the house down. Like, turned the oven on or turned the stove on the other day. That's the most scariest thing. So at least you're the one turning the oven on. But yeah, look, I guess a good thing about this community is we can all be here and share how we're feeling, and it's often things aren't aren't going perfect for us. You know, it things are a struggle. Like I think that it doesn't matter how far along your healing journey you are. There's always going to be difficulties, and it's all about trying to balance doing things that are nourishing and fun, and managing to get through get things done. I really like what Australiana said the other day. Have three things that you do. Achieve three things each day. You know, whatever it is, just three things. And that's a really good motto or principle for like a daily practice. You know, so even if all you get done is three things, and you write down your three things, maybe, so that maybe you write down 5 or 6 things, and as long as you get 3 of those things done, that makes it worthwhile. So I sort of do that with my lists. You know, like I'll write a list that'll have 5 or 6 things on it, and I might only achieve a few of them, but at least I've achieved a few. So, and it gives you options too, like what's possible to get done. So I'm glad that you're here instead of like under a blanket, you know. But I totally get that too, you know. I totally get that too. I've been having nightmares, and really upsetting nightmares. Like I talked about it, I think in the last stream. You know, like waking up with my eyes full of tears, and that really upsetting, sad, upsetting nightmares. And I, when these happen, they usually happen in lots. Like I'll get them for a week at a time, and then they'll sort of go away. So it's not nice when you sleep. Like you know, it's good when sleep is a refuge. You know, you can rest, and you know, it's the worst when your waking life is full of this uh, sometimes constant reminder of these traumatic experiences, and the physical reactions too, like living with the trauma. And then when your sleeping life is the same, it's horrible, because it's like you don't get any break from it. MJG says, sorry to read you feel depressed. Hope you feel not alone here. Yeah, that's it. And I think that's for Harmony Seeker, and also for Australiana too. I think there's a few of us here now in this situation, because I am I look I am I would say, you know, the last week or so, I've been affected, and it's been really sad. And I know that when I do get in those states, that I can, if I do self-care, like if I get out in nature, that helps me a lot, because I can't help but feel better. But I haven't been able to actually do that, you know. I did get to go for a few drives this week. So Cage Pastor says, good on you for heating up the pizza. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I'm glad you're here, Australiana. Mama Bear's here as well. How you going, Mama Bear? Awesome to see you here. Your Mama Bear lives right near me in the same city, so she's a local. Mama Bear says, "My goodness, I'm so depressed. The last week or so has been brutally sad. Much love, brothers and sisters." So, look, yeah, it seems like we're all feeling it at the moment, and it is that time of year. You know, I get very sad around this time of year. I had major trauma happen to me um, in the um, late December. So it's a calendar thing. Whenever it gets to the last few days of the year, I'm that's what I'm thinking about. I get stuck in that, and so and um, and this is a major trauma too that was um, affected me for um, 27 years sort of thing, and it had major is essentially what I was talking about in that last stream. Um, and it basically affected my entire adult life, and I'm very upset about it. So I get depressed around this time of year. It's not just Christmas itself. So it's also a very common thing for people to be upset around Christmas. So I've thought about what I'm going to do because um, um, this trauma happened at a festival I used to go to, and it, it didn't stop me going to it. I kept going, and I went for um, yeah, almost 30 years, 28 years or something. Um, and I would dissociate whenever I'd go there because of it. So I was putting myself through reliving the trauma every time I'd go there. So it was like, I don't know why I kept going. And I finally can't go there anymore because I had some people there um, humiliate me last time I was up there. So I was like, I'm never coming back to this place now. After everything I put in, and all the effort I put in, and especially after how considering what was done to me, the fact that I still kept going was strange, you know. Um, but it was like, yeah, there's that last. It was like that last straw. I just was like, I don't need to be treated like this. So, even though I've got all these friends there, it's it's upsetting me because I can't go there anymore. You know, the only way I'd ever go back there is if I got a major formal apology given to me, you know. An acknowledgement of the pain that I went through over the last 26, 27 years. Because yeah, I won't go into it. I won't go over it all, but how can we all cheer each other up? You know, where it seems that all of us here are a little bit depressed, and not just a little bit, maybe a lot at the moment, and something, you know, at least we can be upset at the moment. And you know, like if you go to a party or something, and you're not feeling happy, or or you're really stressed out, and maybe have trauma response triggers going on, and you then get anxiety because you know you're feeling so disconnected from everyone else. But hopefully here right now we can just be here, you know, with each other, in each other's presence, and be there for each other, you know. Each pastor says some problems can't be solved. They need to be worked around in creative ways. That's a really good comment. And I'm trying to do that with this concept for this charity, not for profit. That's me, and there's all these people that want to help with it, which is really awesome. So Harmony Seeker says, glad to be here anyway. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. And so, you know, we can be here, we can all be upset right now. So that's something I've found with, especially learning mindfulness has helped me in fully feeling like when you are depressed, just acknowledge it, accept it, and feel it, and it does help it pass quicker. But we can all be in this. We can all be here right now and feel this feeling that is not nice, that we're struggling with, you know, and that we can acknowledge that. And it's good that we can all just be here for each other in this, you know. It's a difficult time of year, you know. Like I said, I have calendar depression. I get depressed this time of year every year. And it's not just Christmas time that does that, you know. It's because of the things that happen around this time of year. So for me, it's always difficult. So I appreciate everyone being here for me right now, you know. But we're all here for each other. So I feel like hungry to have some pizza now. Australiana's talking about heating up pizza. So I haven't eaten it. I haven't eaten anything today, actually. Maybe it's time. Like after the stream, I'll cook a meal, something. So, you know, I had in the description, you know, like talk about healing and so, and Mama Bear says, I ate well today and did feel better. Yeah, it does. Eating well, you're right. That's a really good comment. Good nourishing food will it will help, and it can be comfort food as well. You know, comfort food can help, but um, good food will just nourish and help. Sometimes it's difficult to start eating because, you know, like if you're that depressed, you know, it's like it's difficult. But then as you start eating, start to feel a little bit better, and then you start to enjoy what you're eating, and then, you know, so Cage says, what's going on with you, Mama? Was it brutal? If you like to share, no pressure too. Yeah, that's it. Um, this is a space where we can share what's going on with our lives. I do that myself, and sometimes I feel like I go too far with it, but then other people appreciate that. So maybe I don't. Maybe I'm overthinking things. I do overthink things. But yeah, I've certainly got a lot of sadness and loneliness going on. I'm less lonely with this community, you know. Um, but I am very lonely in the sense that I'm very lonely in the sense that because there are people that have harmed me, um, I'm being treated badly, um, and I'm really sad by that because I deserve for people to apologize to me, and I'm getting the opposite. That's sort of why I went in deep with stuff on that last stream. But yeah, Mama Bear, if you know, I know Mama Bear's like me. Um, she's had serious trauma and has lost faith in um, like society and people, and doesn't get out of the house much. So we both share a very similar situation. So I'm really sad at the moment the way I've been treated recently by people. Essentially, I went to the police over um, a horrible thing that happened to me when I was a child, and it was someone that lived in my suburb, and ever since I've been receiving harassment from people in the suburb I live. And I had threats made against me, which caused me to pull back on the police complaint. So, and that was a while ago now that happened, but like the harassment hasn't stopped. So that's why I don't leave the house. And all this is because some bad person did something horrible to me. And it's like, it's so unfair what goes on in this world. If only these people knew, like, that by them continuing, that they're continuing the hurt by doing what they're doing. Like, they're partaking in it. So they're actually making themselves like accomplices almost to this horrible thing. If only people realize that. Yeah, Mama Bear, it's exactly it. Mama Bear says they protect child abusers in our state, and it's disgusting, and it makes me so upset and angry. They are partaking in it, Luke. Absolutely, they do, and this is what happened to me. Is that I went to the police, and then I started getting public threats made, and it was enough to scare me off, and I withdrew my complaint. I stopped the investigation. It's sad. It's yeah, it's absolutely true, and I will attest to that's what they do. They protect them. It's disgusting how the system works like that. Mama Bear says, "I'm standing with you, brother." Thank you, Mama Bear. I tried. I tried. I had. You know. I I I I had the courage to go and start the thing, write a report, and I wanted to go and tell more about what happened, and but that's when the things started happening, and then I became paranoid from it because I became very fearful of my life because of you know I had people literally threaten me in public. One of them chased me on his motorcycle for about 5 kilometers, circling around my ute, revving and threatening me. And I know exactly who it was. I know his name, and it was enough. There was a second threat too, where the other person came to where I was working and just kept walking around the block and intimidating me and making it clear that he wasn't going to stop that, and that he was watching me, that he was telling me to watch out. And then a couple of weeks later, that's when the motorcycle incident happened. And it's like serious stuff. When people make threats like that, they're like saying, "You watch out. You go any further, and we're going to get you." So it was enough for me to pull back my complaint. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Mama Bear. They protect these monsters. They do. And things have to change. And sadly, because this person lives in my suburb and his family live in the surrounding suburbs, I've been basically a prisoner in my own house for the last couple of years. And yeah, at least they know I pulled back the complaint with the investigation. You know, the um, the senior constable said, "Look, we can reopen the case at any time. Anytime you want, you can reopen the case." And I said, "Thank you. You know, that the option's there." You know, and I keep her card, her business card, in my wallet, as if like I'm gonna just call up and say, "Yep, let's open the case again." But I've had these threats made, so it's like, what do I do? And that's just one thing, you know. That's wonder why I'm so messed up. It's like it does upset me how this world is so. It's disgusting how they do that. That they let this stuff happen and then go after the people who try to go get justice, which is what happened to me. You know, they don't want people upsetting the apple cart. But the thing is, the apple cart's full of rotten apples. Needs to be tipped over, and all those rotten apples needs to go fall on the ground and become fertilizer. So, Page Pastor says, "We're stronger now. We're not going to take it." Yeah, that's it. Mama Bear says, "Cults." Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm. That's why I'm inspired to start this um, this charity organization, is to have a sanctuary for people also leaving cults. You know, people who want to escape from, because what we don't realize is how prevalent they are. They're everywhere. You know, so many things can have become cults so easily, and there's obviously the dark nefarious ones that literally are into to nefarious stuff, and then you have the ones that just are, you know, not necessarily so full on, but they have that element where they do protect, you know, and so, you know, I want this place to be a sanctuary for people that are escaping from and needing to start a new life because they've got nowhere else to go. You know, they have to leave everything. They have to disconnect from, and that essentially that's what happens to people when they leave. They have to cut ties with everyone that they know because their life has become so closed off that all of their network is just these people, and so when they do leave them, they've got no one, and so that's why often people stay because they're too afraid to leave. You know, because if they leave, they have to start again, and they've got nothing, so they stay. Cage Pastor says that's really scary. Cage Pastor says, yeah, survivor protection is needed. I believe that absolutely. Um, and that's what I want to try and help create a system for that. And so it's like if there was enough awareness, so it's like, if everyone knew that there was this place that they could call and they could say, look, I need to get away. Just same, just like with domestic violence shelters, you know, people call them and say, look, I need to get away, and they say, where are you? We'll come pick you up, you know, and are you safe right now? You know, do you you know, have you got mobility? Have you got a car? Do you need us to pick you up? You know, it's urgent in when it gets to that situation. And you know, for instance, with some of the things that happened to me, like I was needing that myself. You know, I was like, I need a form of witness protection or something, you know, because, and it just meant I couldn't say anything about any of the things that happened to me. So, and then I had to live with the fear of the fact that, you know, that it's just wrong what happens in this world. So there needs to be these sanctuaries for people to just go and live their life and not fear that, you know, that the people are going to come after them. And this is the thing that happens with cults is people escape and they get away, and then they come after them literally and pick them up and bring them back, because they're often mind controlled into it, you know. But going back to the, you know, like what happened to me was just disgusting, and I lost a lot of faith with the system because of the reach, essentially the reach that this had, that they were able to put pressure on me to get me to stop the investigation. It's just wrong. It causes you to lose faith in the world, and I guess that's the reason why I had this idea of creating sanctuaries for people so they can start their life again. Because even if, but yeah, I don't know. I wanted to make this chat. I wanted to make this stream about healing. You know, so how can we talk about that? You know, like it's really hard. Mama Bear says, "Beautiful vision." Thank you, Mama Bear. Well, you know, we can all be part of this. You know, I'm writing the charter, but I need people to help me finish it. You know, we need as many people to contribute to how to make this work, because it's very complicated. You know, if you're wanting to create sanctuaries for people who are escaping from very serious situations, they're going to be very damaged people. So there needs to be sort of processes for bringing them in and allowing them to go through different stages of healing, and then reconnecting. You know, finding what they can do to start and become something else, start again, because they've had to leave everything, you know. Mama Bear says, I know others too. I've had conversations about NGOs several times in the last week. Awesome. Well, email me, Mama Bear. My email's on my YouTube, and we'll get a conversation going, you know. want to try and I want to get a network of people that will meet through. Oh, we can do it through the conferencing and or emails, and we can share ideas and help, because I have this core idea, and it needs to be refined, and it takes a lot of people to contribute, and everyone, obviously, like you say, there's people are talking about this sort of thing, and so getting them together, please reach out, send me an email, and I know Australiana's wanting to help me with helping me find resolution with things, so I appreciate all this. For me, resolution will be actually starting this organization that is a sanctuary for starting giving an opportunity to start their life again. And the sad thing is, in a lot of cases, these people will have to be leaving their old life behind, and so it'll be a very sad thing for them. And sometimes there'll be varying situations. So some people will be able to be in a more of an open sanctuary where they're not fearing, they're not under complete they're not it all depends on the situation of the people. So some locations or properties will have to be very much protected, because the people there it's very sensitive. And then other properties, there'll be people who are on a not so sensitive level, and they can be more open. And the idea too is that people will be able to move around. So the idea is that you have placement, and people spend a certain amount of time learning new skills and finding things to do, and then after a certain amount of time, they can decide where they want to go. And so they might want to move to a different area, and so that's why there needs the opportunity to have multiple locations, so people have the ability to move. So I've thought about this for a long time, and so there's also the thing that some people might just need a couple of months to just start again, and then they go back. They just move to another city. It's not like they're leaving society behind. But some people literally would be not wanting to ever go back, because the life that they're escaping is so horrific that they feel the need to be in a new community, away from all this stuff. But Mama Bear, yeah, please send me an email, reach out, and connect me with anyone that's interested in this, so that, because I want to start regular meetings and really take these concepts, and um, I want other people's input, and I have a clear idea of how certain systems should run, but it requires other people to contribute to make it happen, you know. And lots of people have got ideas. Thank you, Mama Bear. I look forward to your email and like to connect. And because I can have conference calls now with my thing, so we can do meetings with the chat, and we can do meetings where people can join with the video chat, and you don't have to have a camera on. You can just have the audio on, if you don't want to have the camera on. And we can do video conferences. We can do email correspondence. But I want to make it a regular thing, once a week, once a month, that sort of thing. Cage Pastor says feeling safe isn't easy when they've been shown by the ones that were meant to protect them, that they were disposable. Exactly. That's a really good point, Cage, is that's the thing. The people people wanting to escape a very dangerous, difficult situation are very vulnerable, and so they'll be very, very fearful of any control or but so that's why basically the systems that are in place have to be very clear and fair. So the first two things that anyone goes through in induction is human rights, is learning what all their human rights are, so they can assert them and know that they're safe, and that includes all the aspects to feeling safe in a new environment, and knowing that there's procedures for dealing with any form of abuse, or any form of malfeasance, or anything that there's a problem with, that they know that they can let people know they need help, or there's bad things going on, and that will prevent. The whole concept of this thing is to A, not become a cult itself, and B, to have anyone there feel safe. They have to feel safe, and they have to know that if they air a concern, that it's going to be listened to, because this is one of the most damaging things within institutions and organizations, is people cry out for help and it gets ignored, or it gets turned back on them because they're the problem. So they then become a target, and then so they're the most vulnerable. They've been abused, neglected, or hurt, and then they're crying out for help, and then they become a target, and then they actually get attacked by the institution itself. So the idea is that it needs to be taught and shown that these systems are going to be set in place where that's never going to happen, so that people aren't afraid to speak out. And Mama Bear says, so true, Cage Pastor. I will certainly email. Yes, there's big task in front of us. I'm excited that people are interested in helping out with this and becoming part of this. You know, like it gives us purpose too. Wouldn't it be great if like you can look back in years to come and go like, I was part of helping create this sanctuary for people, you know, because there's a real need for it. And you know, there's a friend of mine. She showed me a a charity organization in America that would be great to model aspects of. And so they take people in and they house them, educate them, they give them like a new life, and they also have rules. You know, like you know, the people have to actually keep doing the work themselves. You know, if they start failing and going back on bad habits or something like that, then they, you know, it's like um, they they encourage people to like be doing the work. So there has to be fairness, obviously, involved. But like these people end up with a house, with a career, and a new life, and it's amazing charity. So, you know, obviously there does have to be rules, but the rules got to be fair, you know, and they have to be clear, and there has to be no double standards or any of this stuff. The idea is that it's all the bad parts that exist within a lot of these institutions that are around. It's the idea is to not do what, not to continue and repeat the same mistakes. Is to, so yes, yeah, like human rights, education, and personal safety. Knowing that any problems are going to be listened to fairly, you know. I think that's very important because essentially people that have been damaged from system, like institutionalized or systemized abuse, are going to be very fearful of any system or institution. So it has to be so open and clear that they trust it. And once trust is lost, it's very hard to get back again. So, you know, it has to be built on that. Yeah, Mama Bear says IHRC, absolutely, yeah, International Human Rights Commission. Yeah, exactly. So there's so many pre-existing, you know, it will be like connecting with existing systems that work, I think will be a big thing. That's it. International Human Rights Charters, exactly. Cage Pastor says, gotcha, thank you. Yeah, and that's it, charter. Isn't it awesome to just think of something like a dream of like a sanctuary, a place where people can have hope again. And you can have different, like I said, there can be varying levels. Some people might just need to, they just might need 6 months or a year to just change a few things and then move cities. and then go back to, you know, living like they did within society, but with somewhat of a new identity, you know, and other people will be needing a much longer stay, and some people will want to become part of the organization itself and become part of the healers and teachers that help run it. So in a sense, they stay there, but they might then also do the same thing and rotate around their placement where they are, so they don't feel trapped as well, you know. But some people again might want to stay in the same place and dedicate the rest of their life, you know. Again, like if part of this sanctuary is to help re-educate people, or not just re-educate, like give them new skills. It might be that, say, carpenters who are close to retirement might say, look, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to this organization, and I'm going to teach people how to build houses. And so they come and, you know, they then become, they keep doing the thing, like they keep building houses, but they help teach people how to build houses. So because each property is going to need lots of little mini tiny homes, you know, and little cabins for people to live in. So, and part of the rehabilitation process could be that everyone gets to contribute in building their own environment, you know. That's why the concept is that the properties grow their own food, and they they might make their own clothes. They a whole lot of things, you know, that can be done, and that gives people, you know, that it's creating a village, it's creating villages in a way, and then they then help support each other, and through that process people are learning skills. So Mama Bear says, yeah, I hope there is a commission there. It should be, but not sure. Yeah, well, see, that's what you know, the next stage will be to actually, you know, reach out to what information's out there for all these things, to basically have pre-existing work with, the idea is to connect with other organizations as well, you know. Yeah, Cage Pastor says ihrchq.org. Mama Bear says your vision's awesome. Thank you, Mama Bear. Like, and you can be part of it. Please come and join and share, you know, because people with lived experience are going to have the right idea about what we really need. You know, some people need space, you know, some people need quiet, some people need to be busy, you know, so they might need to be industrious, and so some people might want to work in the fields and grow food. Some people might want to work in a workshop making things. Um, some people might want to learn and study and study a new course, or learn new skills so that they can then either go back into the society, or they can stay within the organization and become a teacher with their new skills, or use those new skills to help others within the organization. So a big thing is assessment and then placement. And so it has to have it can't be just like someone comes in and gets diagnosed by someone. That's not fair. There has to be autonomy of the individual. So the individual has to be able to decide what they want to do, and they might not necessarily know what they want to do straight away. So they have the opportunity to try out a few things, and then maybe they work out what they want to do. They might want to do something. They might really want to do something, but then it turns out it doesn't work for them. So they then have the opportunity to change to do something else. So all that stuff needs to be taken into consideration, is that once people have had severe trauma in their life, and physical, emotional, situational, it does affect what they can do, but it doesn't mean that they can't do these things. They once they clear of a certain amount of these barriers, it'll open up their abilities, and for instance, people who are, say, veterans, they might want something that is just so stress free, because they've had this traumatic stuff go on, and so that they'll be happy to, but it needs to be directed by the individual, so that they say, look, I want to do this, or here's a list of things that I would like to do, and then you work out what's feasible, and you try them out, and if they work, then keep going with it. Mama Bear says, "Rad, thank you, Cage Pastor." Mama Bear's got the prayers and the hearts. Cage Pastor's got really beautiful opportunity. There's many that will sign up to volunteer. I reckon that's absolutely. I think there will be, especially if people trust it. If people can go, look, this is not like, if it can be seen as it has to have accountability. So dispute resolution and conflict resolution and safety are very high on the list. So if it's seen as an organization that is open and honest and trustworthy, it will get it will, like, governments will want to work. Like, the idea is that where in any country that this sanctuaries would exist, they would have direct connection with the governments, and they would take in people that were referred to them from the government. And people can also just self-nominate. They can call up and say, I need to escape, I need to start my life again, and then they can explain their situation, and then they can accommodate their what they can do based on that. So in situations where, so it could literally act as witness protection programs where the government actually pays the organization to house and protect people, look after them. It could also people who have been abused by any particular organization or institution that have seeked a form of justice, or I'm trying to think of the word. They've wanted resolution. There could be an intermediary that basically holds the institution to account and then says, you're responsible for doing this to this person. We're looking after them now, and you need to help fund the rehousing of this person. So, but at the same time, it doesn't want to be enemies. So it's a very difficult thing. So that would be one of the most difficult aspects, will be how to be a sanctuary, and then for it to be safe for these people. So they need to know that they're not going to continue be persecuted. And so it could integrate with refugee programs, and integrate with witness protection programs and domestic violence abuse programs. And so there would have to be an engagement with existing government departments and institutions. But the people that go to this sanctuary need to know that they're safe. That once they go there, for however long they're there, they're not going to continue to be persecuted. Page Pastor says, "What do we do in the meantime, Luke?" Well, I think in the next 6 months we get we start a like I'll build a website, and we can encourage people to join co-creation, co-collaboration of concepts to help sort of work out the intricacies. And I think there's a wealth base of people who have got this lived experience, and so that they only have to think about, wouldn't it be amazing if this thing existed when I was going through this period of time in my life? Some people might only need 2 months or 6 months to just start fresh. Some people might be years. It all depends on the situation of the person. How much of a change they really need to make in their life, how much danger they're in, So people need to know they're safe from other people there too. So people escaping from, you know, violence or abuse need to know that wherever they go, it's not going to continue. And this does happen in these situations. Is that existing um, places of refuge um, suffer from the fact that unfortunate things happen to people in these places, and it's a common thing that occurs all across the world. And it's because there's lots of damaged people concentrated in a small area. And so I think being aware of that is something to really take into account. And then safety being fundamental. So to answer your question, in the meantime, we'll start maybe monthly meetings or even fortnightly. Fortnightly might be better. And the meetings would have to be like chats that like this, you know, but we do it in a conference situation so everyone gets a chance to speak. And we have, you know, formalized meetings where there's, you know, an agenda of topics to be discussed, and we discuss particular topics and then work out action plans, you know, and then um, Cage Pastor says, I've got to go to bed. Good night, all. Yes, thanks for being here, though, Cage. It's your contribution tonight's been amazing, and I do understand it's like really late in the evening there, so you need to get some sleep. At least it's Sunday morning there now, so as long as you get some sleep, you don't have to go to work for another till tomorrow. Mama Bear says good night with the stars and the prayers and the hearts. I'm really excited about this whole thing, that people are interested in helping make this happen. You know, because it could become a very serious thing. You know, like, but start off very small. You know, start off in a humble way. Like, but have plan for the future. So it might start off with one property that can house 10 people, and it's trialing out a system and what's required, you know. So the board of directors need to have lawyers and psychologists and therapists, physicians, um, or the actual staff, the people that run need to have the qualifications to be able to do the whole thing, you know. And the beauty of it is that there's all these people out there in the world that are qualified and ready to do this, and it's their calling in life. They've just needed this thing to exist, and they'll sign up, you know. They'll donate their time, like Cage said. There'll be volunteers, you know. But if there's funding, then people can get paid, you know. But the idea is that professionals will have to take a pay cut in order to help make it happen. But you know, they still need to be able to live and pay their bills. So you know, Cage Pastor says, love for you, Mama. Yeah, or early. Yeah, we'll have it. It is a late night. It's early morning now, so have a good sleep, Caged, and catch up soon. Hermione says, "Yeah, good night, sweet dreams, Cage Pasta." Mama Bear says, "Field of dreams. If you build it, they will come." Exactly, lol. Yeah, no, exactly. That's it. Totally it. Totally it. And having an aspect to it where it's like, it's going to have a charter, and this is something that I've learned from doing my research in creating charities and not-for-profits, is that you do have to have charters that are locked in, so that the organization doesn't just change and become something completely different, but also at the same time to go against um, dogmatic things becoming dogmatic or um, locked in. There needs to be a democratic aspect to it, and even the creation of it needs to have a collaborative aspect, and there needs to be a review system. So systems need to be trialed, and things that work can get encouraged. Things that don't work need to be not necessarily discouraged, but maybe discontinued. So it doesn't. It's like you can't just keep making the same mistakes. If things don't work out. Um, and obviously, anything that is trying to grow, it needs to do it in a sustainable way so that it doesn't fail because it tries to do too many things. So simplicity is a big aspect. Making sure that it's self-sustaining and that there is funding streams and that it generates its own funding. Look, I'm sorry if I've just gone on off track and just I'm still talking about this concept, but I just love it. I know, and I know that other people are interested in this because it gives hope to 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 things, you know. And I guess this is actually close to what I was talking about as far as healing, because the whole concept of this thing is it's a sanctuary for healing, you know, so that people can heal and live again and have hope. So yeah, I love what you said there, Mama Bear. Totally. So and again, we build it, like we'll do it together. You know, I mean, I do have this long term plan, but I need people to help make it with me. You know, and everyone's going to have so many ideas. Everyone's going to have so many great ideas that we need to take into consideration. You know, Mama Bear says inspirational, and I'm glad for your passion about this. Thank you. I'm really glad that you want to connect, and you've said also you have friends that would be interested as well. So that's really exciting. So I do want to start, like, I can set up meetings where we can have everyone join and have the opportunity to speak and contribute, and then and we'll work through ideas and think it's going to be awesome. You know, if people want to be creative, they can make art. You know, everyone's got to contribute a little bit. You know, and they can contribute by making art or the creative stuff. And some people might want to work in nurseries and grow food. Everyone will find their calling of what they want to do. MJG says, yeah, thank you, MJG. It's really cool. It's really positive. I'm excited to do what I can with this. You know, it's almost like I see the injustice and I see the pain that other people have gone through, and it just gives me more of a reason to try and correct things. So and there's so many things that will be like sort of straightforward, like, so, you know, people who are coming from difficult situations, they'll need legal support. So there'll be teams of lawyers that will help represent people, you know. So yeah, this is really exciting. So you know, maybe I can do a stream, maybe because I've spoken about this now on a couple of streams. You know, maybe I'll do a stream once a month, you know, and I'll title the stream so that people know that we'll just be talking about this topic, and that I'll also set up, you know, like email communication, and I'll build a website, and we'll just grow from there. You know, we'll get people talking, and so the idea is that, you know, from a sort of core foundational concept, many people will help make it happen by contributing. So it's a shared thing that we can all, everyone will get a voice to be part of it. And because everyone's got lived experience, you know, there'll be some amazing sort of ideas that people will have. So yeah, I look forward to that. I really do. So, you know, going back to the topic I had in the description for the video for the chat today. So healing would be a core aspect to it. So a big like opportunity for all different types of healing modalities would be available. You know, exercise, healthy food, social engagement, things like yoga and meditation, educational opportunities, so people can learn in a detailed way more about how to heal themselves, of what they need to do, and then you'd have practitioners that help people along the way. And so healing is the core concept here, you know. And so actually formalizing it will be a big thing. So but also allowing it to be part of the whole greater thing, because it's essentially living and life. So just the very act of contributing to a small village, a community of people all helping each other, you know, growing the food and baking the bread, and you know, helping each other, like when there's group projects that need to get done, you know, like that's all healing, you know, that's all part of it. So but then you can specify things so people can have access to therapy, have access to healthcare. I think we're all going to really enjoy co-creating this thing, because it's like the thing that we've always needed and wanted in society, is to have this option there. And sometimes people just need a couple of months to just start fresh, to just stop what they're doing. And you know, other people, they might need a complete life change. And so it all comes down to the individual, and they need to have autonomy, and they need to be able to direct their own destiny, you know, and within a framework where there's options available for people. So yeah, so many ideas, and we'll come up with them. But certainly healing centers within the healing centers, you know. The beauty of it is there's the whole world out there full of all of these different healing modalities that can be integrated, and people can and become part of it, and the things that really work will be the ones that get more prominence, you know. They'll have budget allocated to. So thank you everyone for listening to me talking about this stuff, because I am passionate about it, and for me it's given me purpose in life, you know. And my goal is to like help start this thing and then step back from it and let it be its own thing, and know that it's going to be safe, that it's not going to divert off and become the very thing it doesn't want to be. You know, the idea is that that's why human rights, safety, and awareness are a big aspect to like anyone who's involved and anyone who comes to find sanctuary. So, you know, there will literally be learning centers where people can learn about every religion and also learn about the um, the dangers. So the dangers, like, because the idea is people will be escaping from sometimes cults. There needs to be learning centers where people are educated in being able to identify manipulation, coercion, control, and cultic behavior, and so that the organization itself can't then become that. Which is very rare. It's very bold to have an organization to say we are not going to become a cult. You know, we are not. We are going to have. We like you still have to have some rules. You know, you have to have restrictions and things, but the actual organization itself is trying to counteract all of these things that then create institutional abuse. So, and this will be very beneficial for people who are for their healing that are escaping. You know, so they can learn about all the tactics that are used so that they can be aware so that these things can't happen to them. You know, the more aware people are of you know the negative aspects to human behavior, the better they are going to be prepared for preventing it to continue. So, oh, MJG's got to go. MJG says, "Thank you, Luke. Bye, everyone. Take care with the hearts. Thanks for being here, MJG." Mama Bear says, "Yes, it has to be strongly guarded against infiltration." Also, absolutely, absolutely. Infiltration is it's expected that it will be infiltrated by, and so there needs to be a communication with existing religions. You know, there needs to be a dialogue and a communication. It might not be. They might not. They might see it as being their enemy, but it has to be like, sorry, we're not your enemy. We're not your enemy. You know. So, but it will be a big thing. That there will be infiltration, and that happens in all institutions that exist. Is that, and it has happened throughout history, and so you have to expect that it's going to be an aspect that will occur, And for safety reasons, that means that you know, the more sensitive someone is, like people who've escaped very controlling groups, might be given more protection, and people who've escaped lesser um, ones that don't have such bad reputations um, won't necessarily be under such protection because they don't have as much to fear. So it then comes down to a case by case situation. So where, you know, depending on where people come from, depends on where they get placement, so that they're best protected against that. That would be the worst thing, wouldn't it? You know, because it's a very real thing that they get hunted down. People that escape cults get hunted down by the cults to try and bring them back, or to it. You know, I've done a lot of research. I've done 20 years of research into cults, and the things that go on is, you know, they have very sophisticated systems. You know, they have their own internal intelligence agencies, basically, you know, and propaganda agencies, and they have very sophisticated ways to target individuals that have left the cult to try and destroy them, or to try and bring them back, depending on what they want to do. So, you know, but the actual, that aspect of it is really, of the whole concept of the organization, you'd only look at it be like 20 or 30%, because you want to, it's also people who are escaping so many other things, whether it's just, you know, institutional abuse, or severe cases, you know, and even like I said, people who are similar to witness protection, you know, it might not necessarily be a cult they're trying to escape from. They might have seen corruption, and that's why a lot of refugees are people who have been targeted by their own government, because they've seen high levels of corruption, and their lives are in danger. So that's why they seek refuge in other countries. So I mean, it is a broad thing, and so within that, you know, it's a very big task, you know. But I think there would be this sort of aspect where people would just be so glad to have a new start in life. They wouldn't. They'd be so happy that they don't ever have to speak about what they experienced, you know. And if they do want to go through processing all that stuff, there's special places for them to go through that experience of therapy and deprogramming and stuff like that. Soli's here. How you going, Soli? I haven't seen you for ages, brother. But I'm just catching up on the chat. Yeah, like that's a really good comment, Mama Bear, about the infiltration. It's absolutely something I've thought that will be an inevitable aspect that you have to expect it to happen. And it would happen very early on, and it would be a continual thing. And it's something that happens historically, has within religious groups, has been an ongoing thing for thousands of years. This has been a thing where it's been an aspect to factionalization of social groups, and that extend into religious groups and belief systems, and political systems as well. I mean, this happens in political groups massively, you know. So being aware of it's definitely something to be, and aware of it, and to be proactive about it. And you know, if something's, if it's got an honest intent, you know, if its source is honest, and if its purpose and its intention, you know, and its source and its direction. So if its source comes from somewhere good and its direction is somewhere good, then it's not going to have, it's going to naturally succeed. And again, if its purpose is something that is good and its intention is also something that is good, it's also going to have less chance of having to suffer from the consequences of that, the negative aspects of things. Sort of like it'll have a protective shield of around it, purely by the virtue of being virtuous, you know, and having honest intent. So Mama Bear says by MJG. MJG says bye, Mama. Hermione says, take care, MJG. Wish you a wonderful Christmas. It's a lovely comment. MJG says, thank you, Hermione. Hermione, sorry. You too, with the heart. Hermione's got the heart. Mama Bear's got the thumbs up. Mama Bear says, yeah, these cults are ruthless, organized, and funded. Yeah, absolutely. You know, you know, what you think about what you're up against is very sophisticated systems, and you know, they are ruthless, they're aggressive, and their tactics are, yeah, the things that they do to ex-members and escapees, you know, is horrible. And so, you know, it is just by the very nature of wanting to create sanctuary for this, is putting alarm bells off all across the world. In every single, like, they'd be like, no, they want us, but really, if you've got honest intent, all we're wanting to do is give sanctuary to people. So we're not picking a fight with anyone. You know, we're not trying to take them to court. We're not trying to shut them down. We're just taking people in and letting them start their life again. So any ill intent or malice that comes from their direction is it will, you know, in like, it will like I like to think that there's a um, like a karmic protection, or a protective element, only by being genuine. It has to be genuine, and it has to be simple, and and you know because again, its main people are, it's also political dissidents, and people who've witnessed corruption. So it could be corporations that are after people, um, that and it could be people escaping of their family, so familiar abuse. Um, the most vulnerable is the sort of core aspect, and then as a greater thing is people that just have experienced severe trauma, you know, can have sanctuary. It's just the fact that it focuses on the most vulnerable. They're just them. They're given priority, and that this concept is open to everyone. That it's not just exclusive to that. Mama Bear say yes, corruption. Yeah, exactly. Sully's here. It says hi, Luke. How you going, Sully? It's good to see you here. Are you sure's here? Awesome. Morning all says, are you sure? Yes, it must be early morning where you are right now. So, like early morning, 5 in the morning or something. Harmony Seeker says, I feel that focusing on the impact of trauma rather than the amount of trauma could be of more benefit. I really like your comment. That is a really good comment, because that's and see, this is the beauty of having this co-creation collaboration, is that how beautiful is that by shifting the focus from um, it's not necessarily comparisons, it's the impact. And so people that are seeking refuge and sanctuary aren't going to be judged. It's they can present themselves and not feel like they're going to be disregarded or judged, that they're going to be accepted, and that it's more than about looking at what it is they need to be doing for themselves and what other people can be doing for them to move forward, and removing that judgment and and often that can help the individual themselves, separating themselves from the by not having this thing being judged, by them not being judged or judging or comparing it, that and focusing on what it is doing to them. That's the core thing. That's the underlying thing. How's it affecting you? How can we fix that? So, and that makes it easier to actually make significant changes in people's lives, you know, and that's where I think therapy, rehabilitation, care, healthcare, all that stuff, it doesn't necessarily fail, but it could benefit from exactly what you said, shifting the focus from, you know, looking at what can be done and what needs to be done, and then going through the process of um, trying things out. As we know in learning about healing and trauma healing, is that not everything works. Everything is individualized. Sometimes some people get amazing results from some therapies. Other people, it makes it worse. So that's a really good comment, Harmony Seeker. I really appreciate it, and that's why, you know, like, it's going to be exciting to have people like yourself, you know, contributing to this, because and wouldn't that be a great thing to look back in years to come and go, yeah, you know, like, I helped make this thing happen, because everyone can contribute a bit to it, you know. Hermione says, "Good morning, Soli, and are you sure?" Hermione says, "So true, Harmony." Yeah, that's it. A beautiful comment. So I've I've actually I did get 2 hours sleep maybe today. I haven't, and I do need to sleep tonight. So I won't necessarily be streaming for too much longer tonight. Um, yeah, just because I've only had 2 hours sleep today, and I need to make sure I get at least 6 hours a day. And it's 8 o'clock now, so I probably should end the stream soon, so that I can get, you know, 3 or 4 hours sleep. So I appreciate everyone's input tonight. It's been amazing, and just, you know, giving me this opportunity. And it's not just, we've all been talking, we've been sharing this communication, but this is something I'm passionate about. It's become my, the more I see it as being just something I can do, you know, and then I can step back from it and let it be itself, let it be its own thing, you know. Uh, and that's a, you know, and I would like for it to actually be acknowledged that it is something that was co-created through a collaborative process. So, you know, I'll set up an email thing, I'll set up a website, and I'll set up fortnightly or monthly conference communication calls, and we'll just keep working on this, and we'll keep building on it, and see what we can do. And Mama Bear says, "Love it, love, yeah." It has, yeah. Look, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I appreciate everyone who's been here tonight and shared this. And I really should stop the stream so I can get some good night's sleep tonight. And you know, I did stick. I had the concept of talking about healing, and even though I was talking about this organization, it was all about healing. So it turned out that it followed what I wanted to talk about. Mama Bear says yes, love it, and I need to sign off too. Good night, beautiful people. Thanks for being here, Mama Bear. And thanks, yeah, everyone else who's here. Solely, Are You Sure? Harmony Seeker, MJG left a little while ago. She was much appreciated being here. And Cage Pastor as well was here. Yeah, Are You Sure says night. Much love to everyone, and I look forward to next time we chat in a week's time or so. And hopefully I've got some, more progress in my own personal healing and stuff like that. Hermione says, "Oh, all right, Luke, get yourself some sleep. It was nice to see you. Wish you a Merry Christmas and all the best. Thank you very much," with the hearts. Yeah, likewise. Have a good, safe and happy festive season, and I look forward to, yeah, it's only a few days away now. It's amazing how quickly the years. I mean, we just had solstice, so it's full on. Hermione says thank you with the smiles and the prayers. So thank you, Hermione. So yeah, much love to everyone. We'll catch up soon.